Hey guys, this is Arun from the Digital Deepak team. In this video, I'm gonna talk about Twitter marketing and how exactly you can use Twitter, how best to use Twitter to get your brand out there. And I'm gonna walk you through the process and I'm gonna discuss the best practices. So let's jump right ahead. So, first thing to do with Twitter is you complete your Twitter profile. This is a mistake which many people do, and the completeness of your Twitter profile determines how well you rank on Twitter search and how rightly you rank on Twitter search, as in you would like to rank for the keywords which is relevant to your business. For that, you have to optimize your Twitter profile accordingly, and for that, you have to first make sure your Twitter profile pic is appropriate, your company logo goes there. So if your company logo is something and your Twitter profile pic is something else, so a person who lands on that Twitter profile might have a disconnect and say, okay, this does not seem to be a legit profile. So you have to keep your company logo there. The next one is the header photo. The header photo is a great chance for you to express what the company is all about. So you have to mention what your business is about. For instance, company like Copy Blogger would say in their Twitter header something like how to write something which sells, because that's what Copy Blogger is about. Or something like ProBlogger.net might have a header which says helping bloggers become professional bloggers. So because that's what ProBlogger does. Other thing is many people neglect bio. Twitter bio is a great place to add in your keywords and exactly mention what exactly you're trying to achieve through your business and your presence in Twitter. So you should not just mention what your business is about, you have to mention why a person who has come to that profile follow you. And for that you have to mention what all tweets you mentioned and what exactly you are here for Twitter, what are your accomplishments, what is your business USP. And the fourth thing to mention in your Twitter profile is the website. You have to make sure you link to your website, and how you link to your website is by tagging the link. So in my video which talks about how to integrate social media and Google Analytics, I have given a tutorial on how to use URL builder given by Google in order to track traffic from social media correctly. And that tag link you have to place it on Twitter. Maybe you can shorten that using Bitly or Google and place that URL exactly in your Twitter profile so that people find out more about your business by clicking on that website link. The fifth thing to remember is to pick a theme color which matches your brand color. You want to have that consistency of brand experience wherever the user comes in contact with your brand, be it a display out of Facebook ad or Facebook profile or Twitter profile. You want to reinforce what your brand stands for, be it styling, fonts, design, or whatever. You have to be consistent, and for that you have to use a theme color which matches your brand color. Number six would be you have to follow the right people. And this is important because if a person comes to your profile and they see that you're not following the right people, then the brand is diluted, and you might also, in order to be part of the community, you have to listen to the right people, you have to follow the right blogs, the news, the influencers, because once you have that set, your activity of listening and conversation happens automatically. So I'm going to walk you through how to set up a Twitter bio or a Twitter profile. I can do that for you too. So let's go right ahead. So currently I'm logged into my Twitter account, and for this I have already mentioned the logo and the header. I will show you how to edit a profile. So click on edit profile here, and then you will get an option something like this. So change your profile photo, you can upload photo. In my case I have already uploaded, but I'll show it for demo purposes. So here I have choose, then you have to apply, click apply, and the logo is uploaded, and then you have to click and upload photo if you want to change the header. And to create the header I will use Canva. So there is an option in Canva that you go to canva.com, and here you can find Twitter header. So this Twitter header you have to click, and you can create your own header. So just the way I created, grow your online store, I downloaded it using this particular button and uploaded it directly here, and that's how I got this particular header, grow your online business. And then you can edit other details too, something like theme color should match the brand color, and if your website is red and orange, then the theme color should also match that color, and you have to pick the country and you have to pick the bio. Maybe you can use a little bit of smileys too, maybe. Yeah, that's if you want to give that. Cool. And e-commerce yogi, you have to make sure the brand name is exactly in the handle and exactly in the username. So save changes, that's great. So this job is done, and make sure you are following the right people. I make sure I follow only digital marketers and people who are providing content on digital marketing. So stick to them so that you follow the right people and reply to them appropriately. And if something entices you, maybe you can make a blog post on your own blog about it. Once you know how to set up a Twitter profile, now it's time to connect with influencers who are in your industry on Twitter. For that, we'll be using a tool called Follower Wonk. Follower Wonk is a tool which has been bought by Moz, and Follower Wonk has a free trial too. So you can just create a Follower Wonk account by going to followerwonk.com or moz.com, and you enter the industry terms. For instance, if I am in web design industry and I would like web designers across the world talk about how great my PSD to HTML converter is, then I would like to search for the word web designer and take the drop down, search Twitter bios only, and click on do it. And now Follower Wonk does the magic. It finds web designers across the world who are actually influencers. For instance, Smashing Magazine has 1 million followers. Web Designer Depot has 7.5 million followers. So these are the influencers in my industry, and if I launch the product, I'll make sure I have good working relationship or have few conversations going on with these people, so that once when I tweet and if such a person retweets, then I would get free traffic and maybe my product can go viral as a result. You can do this, or you can directly search Twitter profiles. So this will dig out the tweets too, and the account age, social authority, all these are great metrics which you can use. And compare users, you can do that. So if I am in e-commerce industry, I would like to compare Myntra and above, maybe. Let's see how it goes. Or something like Flipkart, how are they? And it's saying comparison of users on Flipkart's, and the total average followers per day. Obviously Flipkart will be higher. Myntra has higher number of tweets as compared to Flipkart. Average tweets per week, Myntra has more tweets than Flipkart. So you can compare the social authority. Myntra has 72, Flipkart has 77. So you can compare you and your competition. So if I have an influencer which I really want to know in and out, I would like to analyze if it's worth that this influencer tweets about my product. For instance, if an influencer exists and his followers are interested more in mixed martial arts over web design products, although this person is a web designer, then I would not want to build a relationship with such an influencer, because he tweeting about my product wouldn't actually go in front of web design is because his followers are actually following mixed martial arts. Click on Vistia. Let's see what kind of followers Vistia has. Map locations. So Vistia has followers across the world, but popular in USA, parts of Europe, India too, yeah, Australia. So if I'm planning to launch something related to Vistia in any of these countries, maybe I can do my market research this way. This is great and most active hours of Vistia users. So my own users, I can see that people are active. My followers are active during 0 to 8. So this is the time I'll be tweeting, not the other time. So follower wonk has multiple users. This is something which you cannot ignore, and this is a great way of finding influencers and doing deep level research and finding out their motivations and crafting a tweet or building a relationship with them long term. So I'm going to touch briefly on Twitter content best practices. Sanjay is planning a detailed video on what kind of content is appropriate for Twitter audience. I'm going to go brief because that fits very well within the context of this video too. So the first one is to use Twitter cards. Twitter cards are basically long form pictures and cards which appear. Usually if you see a news site, like a big news site like Huffington Post, if you see a tweet, you will see a big image that's basically Twitter cards. You should make sure you integrate Twitter cards, so every time a person tweets your blog post, the tweet appears in a form of a huge card, which means people will pay attention to it and might click on it, and as a result you get traffic. Use image. Make sure you use image. Images always trump text, so see how much you can do visual content with Twitter. And also use video content. Video content is still very nascent in Twitter. Not many people are using it. You can be an early mover in this particular field and get some early movers advantage there. Number 4 would be ask questions and run polls, because we would like to improve our replies, and ultimately the point of being in social media to have a conversation with their potential customers or other business opportunities or partners or competitors even maybe. And to have a conversation around your brand, you have to ask more conversational type of tweets, which is questions, and maybe you can directly ask a question. Recommendation, maybe you can ask a recommendation on Twitter, or you can run polls. And the 5th one is embed tweet collections in your website. So maybe you can take great conversations in your industry which happen on Twitter, collect all of that and put it on your website in a form of blog post, so that people who read that blog post again click on your Twitter profile and start following you on Twitter too, because you are having an interesting conversation going on there on the industry. The 6th one would be share news and other interesting content from your industry. It's not necessary that you share always your content. You should make sure you share content which is useful to your Twitter audience. If you see that a particular website has written great content and it's on an industry leading blog, you should share it, because your audience will benefit from it and will start following you and paying attention to your tweets as a result. But once you are tweeting the right content, it's time to listen and respond, because there are many things which can happen on social media, especially Twitter. People can start ranting about your brand, or they might be saying things about why your product is much better than your competition or vice versa. So in all such situations, you cannot be a sitting duck. You have to go there and participate and have a conversation and maybe resolve the issue or say thanks for the compliment. In that case, you have to listen to your customer complaints. You cannot just sit there. You have to go where the customer is ranting and make change happen. Number 2 would be listen to industry news, because if you're not updated with your industry, your competition can have an advantage over you and they might create a product which is much better than you, and as a result you start losing customers. So I have to listen to industry news, and that will also help you maybe retweet that content and you start attracting more followers. Listen to your competition and what people say about your competition. You just don't want to isolate yourself from the world, because your competition is always eyeing on you, seeing what's your next move. You have to do the same and see what makes people pissed off with your competition, and build those same features or services in your company, or see what people like about your competition, and maybe figure out how you can imbibe the same or do it better. So fourth one would be listen to conversations in your industry. So as I mentioned in my previous slide, you have to make sure you search for your industry terms and make sure you're participating in the conversation. It's not just always about tweeting. It can be a more of a passive role of listening. So the next thing to do with listen and respond is leverage listening tools. So I have done a video where I've listed all the social media listening tools, and I have mentioned Google Alert, Hootsuite, and the best tools in my opinion is search.twitter.com when it's come to Twitter. So even if you don't have a tool like Hootsuite and you're not comfortable with it, you can go directly to search.twitter.com. It's a free tool. You just enter and you can use advanced search also, and you can start listening to what people say. And the sixth one is make a list of all keywords you want to track: brand names, handles, product names, competitor names, industries, jargons, buzzwords, hashtags, and influencers. And these keywords, you will type each of these keywords once you make this list into search.twitter.com and see what are the conversations people are having about these particular keywords, and you will pay close attention to that. I'm going to show you a walkthrough of how popular companies go about with their customer service, how they communicate with their customers on Twitter. So currently I'm logged into my Twitter account. I am checking Macy's as an e-commerce site, and I'm checking how Macy's replies with their customers. So here I see that they are apologizing. Let me see what they are apologizing for. I hate Macy's, will never shop there again. We are sorry to hear that, Jimmy. If we can be of any further assistance, please send our DM with all the details. Thanks. So the Macy's have replied back to them, and there is an option to send a private message to Macy's directly from within this tweet. So Jimmy D, when he sees this tweet, might click on this and send a private message. So Macy's is dealing with hate on social media. And then you click Macy's, is your buy one get one free shoe sale over? It's on the website, but not when you try to check out. Hi B, this sale is still going on for qualifying items. Have you tried clearing your cache or switching browser? So it's giving technical support on Twitter itself. So this particular person has a problem with checking out on Macy's.com. So Macy's is suggesting maybe it's the problem with your browser cache, or maybe you should use a different browser. And now I'll go to one of the Indian brands like maybe Jabong. Let's see what they are still doing, and I will check tweets and replies. Let's see what they have to say. So they are apologizing. Let me see why they are apologizing. So a particular person, any update on this order? I've been waiting very since long. I've ordered this. So this particular person has ordered 19th. So since the last 10 days, he has no clue about where the order is. So they are apologizing. We have forwarded this issue to our teams, and we'll get back to you with an update at the earliest possible. So this person, Jabong bought rush from Jabong, inferior quality, don't buy. So this kind of shoes, he's not happy with the shoes and he got this kind of product. This seems unexpected, must be looked into. I'd request you to DM use your 15-digit order. So Jabong is taking the problem into a direct message, saying that okay, this can cause some serious backlash from customers and tarnish of brand reputation. So they are trying to take this problem into a direct message, and the person has replied, "Thanks for your reply. As per seller, it has only 3 months warranty, no use. However, I want to inform to other customers about his worst product from Rouge." So he's not happy. He's clearly not happy. So maybe Jabong India should worry about having this particular brand on their e-commerce store, and maybe they can forward that recommendation to their merchandising team. So you have to take few things offline. Maybe you can get the person's phone number and give direct phone service, or maybe you can take it into a direct message so that no further social approach happens. So I am dug deep into listen and respond aspect of social media in the bonus video, which is social media and customer service. Just check that video out and you will get deeper insight into what exactly this is all about. Now, the last aspect of Twitter marketing, and this is something which newbie social media professionals fail to get. This is about setting concrete goals. With social media, it's easy to get carried away saying that, oh, okay, I did these many tweets today. Okay, somebody ranted and I replied, and I tweeted these blog articles from our blog post. I tweeted the Diwali season offer. I had a beautiful graphic. So these are activities. These are not measured metrics. These are activities. These are not goals. So in order for long-term success, even short-term success, I would say, you have to have proper goals, which is to increase followers. Increasing followers gives more exposure to your brand. You have to have concrete goals like increase engagement. We would like to have replies. We should want to measure number of replies which happen over a week, and would like the number of conversations, number of click-throughs, number of likes, number of retweets to increase over a period of few weeks, over a period of few months. We want this quarter to be have an engagement rate which is much higher than our previous quarter. So you should have those goals. The number 3 goal would be increase connections and relationships. How many relationships do you have with influencers? Are your influencers following you on Twitter? If you are a web designer, is someone like web designer Deepak or a few of the best designers in your country following you on Twitter? Drive traffic. Ultimately, you would want users to come to your website and actually do business with you, which is actually they swiping their credit card with your particular payment system. That is the ultimate objective. And for that to happen, you have to drive traffic, and to drive traffic you have to measure traffic, because if you are not measuring that, highly likely that you are not doing anything to change that particular metric. And also you have to track conversions, and for this Google Analytics does a great job. All you have to do is set up goals. I've also created a video on integration of social media and Google Analytics. Just check that out. You will be able to measure these metrics there. And also check out the video wherein I mention the social media KPIs which you have to measure. And also check out the Twitter Analytics walkthrough video so that you get deeper insights into each one of these aspects. So that's it from this video. If you have any queries regarding Twitter marketing and you think that a particular Twitter marketing strategy I missed out, or if you think a Twitter marketing strategy is working for you consistently, just share it in the comment section below so that other students also can benefit from it.